Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kobo Sports Room, where we talk about football-related issues, player profile. We do fans' perspective and then interviews. We'll be introducing interviews very soon. So today we have, a transfer news. A lot of things are happening on the transfer market. But before I move into the transfers, let me first of all congratulate the Black Queens. They have done really well. Going into the game, we didn't expect them to, show up like this. And even in the tournament, they didn't have money to even prepare for the tournament. They needed $40,000 to prepare for the tournament. They couldn't even get it. It was even hard to get it. So to play in the semi-final of the WAFCON 2025 is a remarkable achievement. And then, they were booted out yesterday by the Atlas Lioness of Morocco. So they will be playing in the, of course, third and fourth. But we are, chasing the, the bronze medal. So let's see what will happen there. But big congratulations to the Black Queens. Listen, the fact that we didn't qualify to the final doesn't mean that these girls have not done well. They have done really well. If you want to know the in-depth analysis of what actually happened yesterday, today, 4 p.m., watch me on Max TV. Max TV will be streaming live on X and live on, I think on YouTube. So today, 4 p.m., watch me on Max TV, and then we'll give you in-depth analysis of what happened. But today, in this video, we'll be talking about the transfer-related issues, transfers. A lot of things are happening on the transfer market. We'll start with Victor Gyokeres, the big elephant in the room. Yesterday, we had a breaking news. We'll talk about Granit Xhaka. Xhaka is having issues in Bayern for Leverkusen. We'll talk about that one too. And then Xavi Simons, one of the also blockbuster news that is happening on the transfer market. Something is cooking today, even this morning, as of the time of recording. Something is cooking from Germany. And then lastly, Anthony Matheus dos Santos. His move to Real Betis, something is happening there. We'll dive deep into what is happening in Real Betis with respect to Anthony's move from Manchester United to Real Betis. So click on the subscribe button, press the post notification bell, and let's get straight into the video. So let's start with Victor Gyokeres. Victor Gyokeres. Victor Gyokeres. There has been reports from Record Portugal, from Fabrizio Romano, from Samsi, a lot of things happening, from, Manchester United hijacking the deal to, a lot of deals, a lot of, things are happening. But finally, yesterday, we had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Victor Gyokeres will be an Arsenal player in the subsequent days, the days that will be coming. He will become a top striker for Arsenal. Now, Arsenal have their man in front. This brother has scored about 97 goals in 103 appearances for Sporting Lisbon. Yes, someone will say it is Portugal. Yes, it is Portugal. But he was in Portugal and he was challenging for the European Golden Boot with Kylian Mbappe. So you should know the quality of player Arsenal are getting. Know the kind of material up front. The kind of tool Arsenal are getting up front. He is a deadly striker. One of the most deadliest striker in world football right now. I would add Robert Lewandowski. Some people would not agree with me, but I would add Robert Lewandowski. You can talk about, even Kylian Mbappe. We can even talk about Harry Kane, and then Victor Gyokeres, Alexander Isak. All these strikers, deadly strikers up front. So Gyokeres, it means that Arsenal now, Mikel Arteta doesn't have any, excuse not to win or not to perform. But let me ask this question. Arsenal fans or football fans, do you think Arsenal are setting Mikel Arteta up for a sack? From where I sit, that's how I see it. Because I don't see Mikel Arteta as the caliber of coach who could, take them to the promised land. No, I don't see Arteta like that. I think that for you to win the league, for you to win the big trophies, you need some sort of, coaches. Some sort of coaches. I don't see that in Mikel Arteta. But now, he doesn't have any excuse to fail or not to win. And when I talk about winning, what do I talk about? Arsenal fans are demanding for the Premier League because they are virtually equipped Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal team everywhere. They have brought, a backup for the centre-back Mosquera from Valencia. They have also brought, Norgard in to come and cover for the defensive midfield role. Zubimendi is also in the midfield role. They have, Noni Madueke to cover for the, wings. When they talk about the right wing, Noni Madueke will be there. When we talk about the left wing, he can also, tackle in there. Then there is the big man up front, the striker, Victor Gyokeres. So Arsenal and Mikel Arteta have no excuse not to win. Now, in the Champions League, they played in the semi-final last season. Anything below the semi-final is a failure for Arsenal, considering the fact that they have done a lot of additions in this particular transfer window. He has basically been given whatever he needs to succeed in the upcoming season. So anything below semi-final is a failure for Arsenal. And if you are an Arsenal fan, I think you will agree with me. In the Premier League, anything below challenging for the title or even winning the title is going to be a failure for Arsenal. Yes. And then, of course, the League Cups, you have to win some of the League Cups. You have to win a trophy in the upcoming season. If Arsenal doesn't win a trophy, it is a failure for Arsenal. And I think, Mikel Arteta, Nitiba Keka. Yeah. So, yes, that is what is happening in Arsenal. They have their striker up front, the Gyokeres guy up front. Let's see what will happen in the upcoming season. What are your expectations? Arsenal fan, drop all your comment down below. How many goals do you see Victor Gyokeres scoring? Drop all your comment down below. Let me know your comments. Now, talking about Arsenal, we'll move to former Arsenal captain Granit Xhaka. He played for Bayern 04 Leverkusen, went there and then did really, really well. They won the Bundesliga. They have done really, really well in, for 2 seasons now. Since Xabi Alonso was their coach for 2 seasons now, they have done really, really, really well. But I don't know what is happening in there. In Bayern 04 Leverkusen, Granit Xhaka want to move from Bayern 04 Leverkusen to Sunderland. So he's pushing for a move to Sunderland. I don't know what in a blue hell Xhaka will, think about, because if you are playing Bayern 04 Leverkusen, that's a big club in Germany, and virtually you can also compete for the Bundesliga, if not the second, at least third. But he is coming to Sunderland, a relegation team that has been just promoted into the Premier League, and there is a possibility that they will go back to the relegation. Obviously they go back to the Championship. So is it about money issue? What is it about? What project did they presented to Granit Xhaka? Because he's pushing for a move to Sunderland, and the agent has been talking. Granit Xhaka's agent has been talking, and yesterday Eric Ten Hag, the Ten Hag man, the bowed Ten Hag man, also, so to speak, said something in a pre-match press conference, or a press conference, that he has heard a lot of noise from Granit Xhaka's agent. But if as a club and he as a coach, they are keeping firm, or they are standing on 10 toes that Xhaka will stay in Bayern 04 Leverkusen. So obviously he is one of the leaders in the team. So if they are losing Granit Xhaka, it is going to affect them, even as a team, and then on the field of play. So what is happening in Bayern 04 Leverkusen is that Granit Xhaka want to leave Bayern 04 Leverkusen, and Bayern 04 Leverkusen are not also saying that they will not sell Granit Xhaka to Sunderland. Let's see if Sunderland will present a solid bid that obviously Bayern 04 Leverkusen can't reject. Monetary issues with respect to personal terms, let's see what will happen. But Granit Xhaka to Sunderland is looking very unlikely as we speak. But in the eyes of Xhaka's agent, the deal is still visible. It's still possible for him to move to England again. Now let's move to Chelsea. Obviously Chelsea lost on Madueke. Is this even a loss? 52 million is not even a loss at all. So Chelsea sold Madueke for 52 million pounds, add-ons included, for Arsenal, and they need to replace him. And funny enough, Chelsea are, they sold a left-footed player, and they are going in for a right-footed player. So, and then, a hybrid right-footed player, someone who is versatile. They were chasing Kudus, they couldn't get Kudus, and then now we are having a solid links for Xavi Simons, a 22-year-old kid, Xavi Simons. top player in the Bundesliga, and then even in the the orange of the Netherlands national team, the orange of Netherlands. So Xavi Simons, obviously, he wants to leave RB Leipzig, and the issue of Leipzig not going into the Champions League is also part of it. The reason why he wants to move away from RB Leipzig. Now, RB Leipzig, from reports, would accept 70 million package, add-ons included. But Chelsea believe that they can do a deal 60 million below or 65 million and below. Ali Barat, the super agent now, Charlie, the guy they chop. Wow. Ali Barat, an agent for Nicolas Jackson, an agent for Xavi Simons recently. I mean, an agent for Moises Caicedo. So, he was also very key in, Noni Madueke moving from Chelsea to Arsenal. So, Ali Barat, he's been like, so to speak, a friend to the Chelsea board. So Ali Barat is facilitating the move for Xavi Simons to come from RB Leipzig to Chelsea. Now, personal terms, according to Florian Plattenberg, shout out to him, he has been cooking this particular window from the German, players or news coming from Germany. He has been cooking. So according to Florian Plattenberg this morning, personal terms is closer or is close to be agreed between Xavi Simons and then Chelsea. Now, the issue of club-to-club deal is what is happening or what is going to remain for Xavi Simons to move from RB Leipzig to Chelsea. Now, RB Leipzig also would want to replace Xavi Simons with Kane Chukwuemeka, the Chukwuemeka boy. I want him to leave Chelsea because I feel like he doesn't have the capacity to play for Chelsea. Since they signed this boy, I've said it. He doesn't have the capacity to play for Chelsea. So RB Leipzig would want to, replace Xavi Simons with Kane Chukwuemeka. Now, Chelsea, rates Kane Chukwuemeka in an excess of 30 million euros. So they will be willing to sell for 30 million euros. And RB Leipzig will be willing to also sell Xavi Simons for 70 million euros. Chelsea can also do a deal in below 65 million or 65 million euros. So let's see what happens. RB Leipzig has registered an interest in Kane Chukwuemeka. So is it going to be a direct swap deal? Chelsea will add money, or it is going to be a separate deals? In my opinion, I think that Xavi Simons is a very, very fantastic player. He can play as a left winger. He can play as a number 10. And what I love about him is his energy and his ability to shoot. Because we have certain kind of players who is afraid to shoot. One is Madueke, but this guy is not afraid to shoot. That is one thing I love about him. And his defensive contribution, my God, fantastic player with respect to defensive contribution. So I think that he will be a very, very, very great signing to Chelsea. Let's see what happens. Minimum, I am giving Chelsea 3 days minimum to complete this particular deal, because I think that this deal can be accelerated in the next hours or in the next days that will come. But of course, the transfer window, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Let's move to Anthony Mateus dos Santos. He did really, really well in Spain last season, where he played loan for Real Betis. They went into the Conference League final against Chelsea, got pasted by 4 goals to 0. He didn't do well in a final and all of that. But obviously, £30 million deal for Anthony Mateus dos Santos. That is the money Manchester United will be willing to take. 100 million player, and now it is 30 million. That is how the transfer window is. Within some couple of years, your value can come down just like that. So that is the deal United will be willing to take for Anthony Mateus dos Santos. Now it is going to be very difficult for Real Betis to even raise 30 million to get the signing of Anthony Mateus dos Santos done. Very, very difficult. But they are trying their possible best to get the signature for Anthony Mateus dos Santos. Where do you see him going? Because I feel like if he gets his move from Manchester United to Real Betis, it is going to help his career pedestal, because he's young. I mean, virtually young. He has not hit his peak yet. So he can virtually move from Betis in about 2 years' time to another bigger club that will help his career. But let's see, £30 million. Charlie, Barcelona are even struggling to even, table a bid of 40 million to Marcus Rashford. What makes you think Real Betis can, bring £30 million deal? Let's see what happens. Transfer window there, everything can happen in the transfer window. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have for you in the transfer window. Blockbuster news happening. Drop all your comment down below. Let me know your comment. What do you think? What do you think about Victor Gyokeres? What do you think about Xavi Simons? What do you think about Anthony Mateus de Santos? And what do you think about Granit Xhaka's situation at Bayern 04 Leverkusen? This is Kobo Sports Room, and this has been your transfer update. Click on the subscribe button, press the post notification. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for your time, and peace.